Alors, bonsoir tout le monde, les gens ici au conseil et les gens à la maison, qui regardent avec intérêt, je suis sûr, qu'est-ce qui se passe avec nos fameux réservoirs sur notre site historique. I'd like to thank you all, again for receiving us being the Chamber of Commerce, the Cornwall Waterfront Committee, your committee, the Village BIA, and of course, our group Renaissance. You also are familiar or aware that the Cornwall and Area Service Club Council fully supported our actions and the actions of the council, and we were very pleased to see the Service Club Council get involved. It's not too often that the partners that made up this group are together to fight for such a cause. All of you, and I in particular, being the representative for this group, I've met a lot of citizens in this town and from out of town. A lot of business, a lot of individuals, and they took this project to heart, and we can now say without a doubt what they want. We don't know it by now. Somebody else is asleep at the switch. I would also like to thank the media for the coverage. Now, I didn't need the coverage, I'm not running for anything, but it was an interesting story. And it was interesting because it touched so many people, so many groups, as I've outlined in the start of my presentation. So I don't thank the media too often, but tonight I wanted to make mention of that. For this battle, it's over. We lost. And that's it. And we can ponder on why and who did this and who did what. Not going to get us anywhere. And I think we all realize that. So what's important now is the war. The war is going to be how we conduct ourselves moving forward. What is the best land use is really what you're talking about. See Stephen Alexander, he always talks about best land use from a planning perspective. And basics of planning is that you include everybody in your plans so that you can satisfy the majority with your plans. And you heard a presentation this evening on how that's working with the counties and that, and how we must work together to continue and make sure that we advance. The decision makers, you, our MP Guy, in particular the Minister Lisa Wright, the point is clear. We want the best land use, and we want in the future, through the best ability, that the best interests of our people are taken into account, and we do good economic decisions, things that make sense. So the message was clear. Now you're moving into port divestitures. People don't know about that by now, well, they should read up on it. But basically, now the city looks to take over the port. Maybe one day they'll decide they don't want to take over the port. A lot of issues will be coming up, a lot of important issues. And we have our friends in the south, the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne, that will be working closely with them. I use we because I feel like I'm on the team here. But you will all be working closely to make sure that things happen the way they should be. You know, it's like a parachute. I look at this as our parachute must be open. Okay, and again, I say put things aside, move forward, and let's get things done. The city was delivered last June to that planning board a set of designs the group Renaissance paid a little fortune for on the harbor and what it should look like. That wasn't group Renaissance, that was the community that spoke, and from what they wanted, those designs were taken care of by our architect and delivered to you. They're in the basement somewhere. I don't know where, they're in my basement. They should be in the city's planning department. And why should they be there? Because that's what people want, and we should never forget. Now, those plans do not have to be exactly done, but that's the starting of the plan. They don't deserve, given what happened, to be put away something. They deserve to be displayed. There's a lot of people I could thank, but I'm sure Mr. Lozon would tell you that he's never received so many emails in his life. Hundreds is not a thing anymore, it's thousands. That's the community that did that. It's you, everybody. And it didn't go just to Mr. Lozon. From the Prime Minister to Lisa Ryan to a dozen or so ministers. I must say I received replies from the Prime Minister and from those different ministers faster than I did with local people. We made some noise. We made our case. The objectives are clear. They all know it. So I see that as a good, well, let's just say I see us advancing in a positive mode now. You've asked me if I would be part of the committee or at sometimes be part of that, and of course I'll be there anytime you need me. But on behalf of the Chamber, the Village, your Waterfront Committee and Group Renaissance, we want to thank that group, but also you for allowing us to take the lead on this issue and to allowing us to make our case on behalf of the citizens. Felt like an alderman there for a while. But thank you once again, and if you have any questions, well, I'm here to answer.